Hey, hi there, French Vinyl Addict coming out on another video. In today's one, I will be hopping on two different threads. So this is a double entry if you want. The first is 5 artists I like now but didn't in the past. This is brought by Mike Spiral Vinyl. He's got a great channel. And the second one, so please stay until the end of the video. I will be showing great looking illustrated album cover. This is another thread from another fellow member from the UK vinyl community, Rob Walker, the great idea to come up with a thread. So ready for departure? Let's go. So yeah, 5 artists I do like now but didn't in the past. And it's a very interesting topic as throughout my musical journey I explored a lot of different genres and subgenres, and I had this incredible chance to start with a great collection my father had back in the days, vinyl collections, and I was more into, when I was 16 or 18 years old, I was more into hard rock or electronic music and other genres such as progressive music or jazz. I think I wasn't just ready for that at the time, and even if I tried, even if I just gave a try, or maybe I listened to some of the records my father had, I would just maybe it wasn't the right time to me. So maybe I may have put it on the side some of the greatest album back then, and I kind of rediscover maybe later. And the perfect example to start this contest with, this is Pink Floyd. This is a double CD. This is the 40th anniversary editions they made. Piper at the Gates of Dawn. I bought this CD when it was released in 2007. And as I said, I was more into electronic music, AC/DC, Van Halen kind of stuff, maybe new wave. And I knew about Pink Floyd because Wish You Were Here. I maybe can refer to them. I will just put a link, the 10 albums I grew up with, a video which explain a little bit more all the genres, all the album I really liked between when I was 14 up until 2021 when I was living at my parents. But this is a typical something I just rediscover years later. So now I got the vinyl. This is a French press I got. This is a original press of the Piper at the Gates of Dawn, and I really enjoy now the Syd Barrett's era. Incredible. They were recording this album at Abbey Road Studio in 1967 at the same time the Beatles were making a record session of Sgt. Pepper, and yeah, I really now can enjoy that record. Though I wasn't a little bit able or didn't want to, and I don't know, music journey is a very long trip, I would say, and I discovered a lot of different things, and now I have more interest in genres like progressive music, jazz, or other than I may probably have I did in the past. The second one is another artist, genre, jazz, John Coltrane. I wasn't ready for that prior, let's say, when I was 20, 25 years old. And maybe I grew a little bit older. My tastes have changed or evolved. I would say rock is a common thread. I always go back to rock, but now I'm keen to discover different aspects, and jazz is one of them. When I got into progressive music, I discovered a French band, Magma, and the co-founder of Magma always refers John Coltrane. He was a freak. He was a huge fan of John Coltrane. So made me want to discover this artist, Miles Davis. This is a Ole. This is a 1961 album, and I had a chance to find a pristine copy, French press. Really cool album. So Coltrane. Next one, we are back into progressive music. A French band called Ange. And still, my father had this album. They made in 1981, and I wasn't ready for that. Really, they. I was more into Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin kind of stuff. I remember I just maybe have given a try, but didn't like it because they sang in French. Um, the singer has a very particular voice. He was fan of a lot of different aspects from progressive music. Court of Crimson King, 666 was a source of inspiration, but Jacques Brel also was a very important source of inspiration for the co-founder Christian Descamps. Those are two brothers. They founded the band, and well, yeah, I wasn't really ready. And maybe the way my father described that band, because he mentioned with his friends, I remember clearly, they were founded not too far from the place where I grew up. So they went to a concert of this band, and yeah, it was a French band, and they were not even from Paris, from a big city. They were from a countryside, and maybe these details didn't help to pick my curiosity, I would say. So I put it on the side and rediscover years later, also because of or thanks to a French YouTuber, Didier Merlato. It's a great channel, and he had a great idea of going through an album artist discography and picking one or two albums and saying and pointing out that those albums are a good way to start with, to say, hey, you have to start with these albums more than another. And he was right, because he was mentioning this is not my favorite album. This is La Gare de Troyes. My favorite album are probably, Guet-Apens, released in 1978, or Au-delà du délire, released in 1974. I will try to put a picture of those albums. I really like this. This is a French progressive music. They were nicknamed the French Genesis, but I would say, even though I love Genesis, Peter Gabriel era, they were nothing to envy to Genesis. Ange. And speaking of Genesis, the next one is Selling England by the Pound. And yeah, when I grew up in the 90s, I had this image of a Genesis, a Mama, 90s, Phil Collins taking the lead, a pop group. I didn't know much about their background, or the first early material. And sometimes, you have friends, sometimes you have an important person who shaped your musical education, and this was the case. Marc Isaïe is a very famous musician, journalist, founder of a great radio station in Belgium, co-founding member of the band Machiavel. We will talk about Machiavel in the second part of the video. And he had this incredible radio show, 34 years in his radio, the radio he created. And the way he described, the way he talked about the stories related to progressive music, he was a true fan of Genesis and Peter Gabriel, obviously, and made me want to discover that band. And I remember clearly the first time I listened to that record, even my wife was surprised, because she said, hey, this is not something that you usually listen to. I know you. And she was right. We've been together for 20 years, so she knows me very, very good. And she was right. I was discovering something different than everything I had listened to ever. So the first album I was introduced with, Selling England by the Pound, loved the Peter Gabriel era, just to tell the truth, and but it will still remain the very first time I was introduced with this great sound, this atmosphere, this universe. And the last one, I had to pick 5 artists. This is a German band. I recently talked about that album in my favorite German rock bands video. This is Eloy. Once again, my father had bought that record in 1981, and I didn't really like that sound back then. When you listen to certain things like, AC/DC, Van Halen, Motorhead, great, powerful hard rock. You don't like this kind of genre. And yeah, so jazz, progressive music is something that I myself, I could have, I started to enjoy probably when I was 29, 27, 30 years old, not before. But I'm glad really I've kept these albums. My father gave me his entire collection, so I'm really glad that I can now enjoy this great band. So this is it for the first part, and now we are moving forward to the next section of the video, which is a great illustrated cover. Once again, thank you, Rob Walker. I will maybe put a link in the description of the two videos, the one of Mike Spiral and the one of Rob Walker. So let's start with a great cover, looking cover, which is a quintessence, an English band from the late 60s. This is a French press I got. This is a relatively obscure band, a blissful company, psychedelic rock, nice looking cover. I don't want this video to be longer, so I will not spend too much time on describing the love I have for all these albums. This next is Small Faces. This is the last album they made. This is, I would never try to pronounce the name of that album. And I don't know what they were thinking. Simply beautiful. Could be a nice logo even today. Did they base on, I don't know, shoebox or, I don't know, cigar box? I have no idea. I have no idea, but this design is absolutely great. Now, an American band, really love. This is Mountain, and I will talk about this band in the next video. Before because I think it's one of the most underrated band. As Grand Funk Railroad, for instance, I don't see often this band be mentioned. So yeah, but to stick to the today's subject, great cover, great design. Even the inner sleeve is absolutely beautiful. This is Mountain. They band. This, I think they play in Woodstock, but they don't appear in the movie Woodstock because of contract issues they had. I even got a second album, Mountain, Felix Pappalardi band. Now, classical cover, this design crafted by Paul Whitehead, Foxtrot. I think I talk about that record in every video. To be honest, I wanted to take the Nursery Crime, but my friend Rice record, Michael, he already took Nursery Crime, so I say, okay, well, I will grab the Foxtrot album, the good old Foxtrot. Beautiful copy. You know, this album is absolutely amazing progressive music. Suppo's ready on that one. Now, more modern band from Iceland. This is a Vintage Caravan. This is a nice discovery I made early this year. I found this record in a record show when I got back to France to see my parents and family, and it's hard rock. Really like design. The Vintage Caravan. Now we are back in the UK in the late 60s. This is Fairport Convention. I really like this band, folk band, just like Family. They were a massive source of inspiration for a lot of progressive rock band such as Genesis and Yes. This is the second one they made. The first one was Sandy Daniel vocals, What We Did on Our Holiday. They were so creative. They made, I think, What We Did on Our Holiday and Half Breaking and Legion Leaf within 18 months, something. Correct me if I'm wrong. But still, this is a great album. And I think I like the cover. Might be, you know, something simple, you know, something made with a pencil on, you know, on the fly. But really like, you know, simple, but it works. Now another band I really like this album, and this is Dust. obscure, or not that obscure, but still. And Mark Bell, the drummer, I think joined the Ramones lately, years later. American Beauty, Grateful Dead, iconic album, iconic cover. Really like this picture. Now, one of my favorite prog band ever, the Belgian prog band I was talking earlier. This is Machiavel. This is a Jester. This is their second album, and I will probably make a video about maybe a sort of series discovery. You know, how to maybe to give you the chance to rediscover or discover an artist. Just I'm waiting for your opinion. Just let me know what do you think. If you think it would be a great idea to do sort of a 20-25 minutes discovery videos where I go through the entire career, not the entire, but where I focus on certain part of the career of an artist, or certain albums of an artist. Just let me know what do you think. And I plan definitely to focus on underrated bands, you know. So this is Machiavel, yeah. This is Jester, and I really like the artwork. Artwork is beautiful. This is Jester. And the second one is also Machiavel. This is Mechanical Moonbeams. This is a third album. This is symphonic. Yeah, this is symphonic progressive music. If you like Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, Wine and Wuthering kind of sound, you have to listen to that record. You really have to listen to that record. They were amazing. They had this singer Mario Guccio, which is who sadly passed away. He was a Belgian Freddie Mercury. He's an incredible voice. They don't copy the genre progressive. They do it in their own way. Symphonic, as I said, After the Crop is a masterpiece. Rope Dancer is brilliant. Please give a try. And yeah, this is a Belgian this is a Belgium cover. Mechanical Moonbeams was released in different countries with different artwork. I also have the French press, of course. Cover was a little bit different. I would prefer to stick with the original. This is the Belgium cover. It's beautiful. Mechanical Moonbeams. Machiavel. Now another band from the French-speaking part of the world. We are in Quebec, Montreal, Harmonium. This is Les Cinq Saisons. Well, this is a French press, and they named it Les Cinq Saisons. Well, the original title is not Les Cinq Saisons. The original title, I think, is Et si nous avions besoin d'une cinquième saison, which is kind of, complicated to translate. Not to translate, but it's not very marketing kind of stuff. So Les Cinq Saisons, Harmonium, great band from mid-70s. Serge Fiori, Michel Normando, a very great project they had. You can find this record everywhere, very common. I also like their third album called Liptad. Great, great, great album. Now a band from the Canterbury scene, Caravan, in the lay of grey and pink. Beautiful artwork, grey and pink. And last but definitely not least, probably my favorite cover ever. And one of my favorite album ever as well, but the cover is simply brilliant. This is really Gears. This is Cream, released in 1967. It's amazing, I had the feeling back in the days with my eye as a person who was born in the 80s, that in the 1966 they were black and white, and 67 color appeared in 67. When I look back, for instance, Revolver album was black and white. The first album was black and white, more or less. In 67 there were a lot of color. It was beautiful, Sgt. Pepper and This Really Gears. And really like this artwork. It's a great album. It's a great atmosphere, ambiance. Really, really, really find this album really cool. And I recently know what SWALABR means. That's the second song on phase two. That means she walks like a bearded rainbow. It's psychedelic record, so it's beautiful. So, hope you like it. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next chapter. Bye bye.